it to be. Alright, and bam. Alright, there we go. Restarted, so I'll be able to upload it later. You should still be good there, and let's roll. This one is, okay. Maggie was banned. Okay, so this should be Burman versus Rook, which is 7 Delta 0.
This game was pretty interesting.
I thought this game was really good. Okay, 7 Delta. There we go. I can't believe he has 1,600 matches. That's absurd.
Don't throw your life away so carelessly, child.
Mind if I step in? Ha! I can't miss.
Alright, so what are we working with?
So I'm trash at both of these characters. So I'm gonna have a hard time with this one.
Sure, I've played some Burman. Rook is beyond me, and continues to be beyond me.
So Dragon Breath dodge is like really good. I like dodging against Rook way more than most people, so it's probably a mistake. But you know, as Burman, you just get to like charge 2. You get a chance at like 2 free damage. Well, I mean, no, you don't even really realistically get a chance at 2 free damage if you Dragon Breath dodge. But you do get like to dodge and get some movement and get rid of one of Rook's bullets. I mean, he's got dodge down, so he's almost certainly using a bullet. It was really good to Dragon Breath dodge. The other common thing you can do as Burman is you can dire shot, right?
Anti-3?
Anti-3, so you immediately go up to 5, and you're not stunnable. If Graphs actually trades even, but you get a bullet and you get 3 tokens, so that'd be amazing. Sorry, you don't trade even because you miss. Never mind, my bad.
Yeah, I don't like a lot of the other options, so I think we're on Dragon Breath, and I'm worried about whatever the green. Where is it? The ISG bullet.
I would just dodge, like get the 2 firepower. I think that these days going up to 5 is not as important as it used to be, because this is, I don't know, like kind of a historical thing, but like blistering used to be better, right? Blistering used to be a much bigger payoff.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think blistering is like that good of a use of 5 firepower. Stuff like incinerating and
Might.
Yeah, might's okay. You don't really want to be pushing Rukyuk across the board, and I think it's really incinerating and Dragon Breath are like the scary uses of firepower. So I think going up to 4 is pretty fun. I think that I would do some dodge here. I could even see like a blistering dodge, because options for clashing a Dragon Breath dodge. It's possible that none of them are good. It'd have to be like Prick Drive. Oh, he doesn't even have Drive. Okay.
Maybe Gunner Crest.
This is like the standard Rook. Standard Rukyuk open. I don't really see this down. I mean, so it'd have to be like, Gunner Grass beats.
There's also this.
Yeah. Does it really? No, it beats that, right? Yeah.
Oh, it's
okay.
Yeah. Well, no.
But, I mean,
Hold on. Dragon Breath Grasp. What does that look like? So it does
Okay,
3. You could anti-stun guard. Yeah. This anti-stun guard. Oh, you don't even need the anti-stun guard. It's got 1 on it.
yeah, but this loses to Dragon Breath Grasp, right?
No. You retreat 2. Dragon Breath Grasp hits you and pulls you 1. And no. But you have. Okay, so you have the anti range bullet, which is terrible.
Yeah, you could crossfire burst, long shot, but why would you do that? Like, I don't know, seems.
Yeah.
Grasp as Rukyuk. I mean, I think it beats everything, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Some like stun guardy shot will yes, but whatever. Yeah, if you do that, then it beats everything. Probably just dodge versus Gunner Grasp. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. This seems good.
Both of those pairs exactly, right?
Yep. Standard openers. Except this should be Dragon Breath.
Is a little non-standard. Normally, it's Dragon Breath dodge, but if you look at MiX's discards, there's really no sane way in which he's ever advancing here. So you might as well play the lower prio thing. I mean, you could make an argument for a 1 prio dodge because he really doesn't have many good clashes. I think 0
it's
prio
tricky, right? Trick.
Actually, a trick drive, but drive is
Drives in. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, so he doesn't really have any sane. I feel like a crossfire strike anti long shot is like the only thing I can think of that's.
Ugh. That's just saying that out loud is just like, yeah. All right.
Honestly, it's not that crazy. Crossfire strike. I wonder if you will do that.
Forward.
It's probably okay, actually. That's interesting.
Try and dodge this.
Yep, Burman wants to take.
I don't know why that is. I'm sure he has a reason.
He was here, right?
What?
He was here, right? Oh, you know what? Because you want to be at I actually think that if you can't be at range higher than 4, then being at range 2 against Burman is better than being at range 1.
But it's the choice between range 2 and range 3 here. Like, why would you want to be?
I'm not sure on that. Though, because I actually think it's yeah, because of War Mages maybe, and like now he's kind of like stuck into Dragon Breath a little bit. Maybe no, this has got incinerating too. I know that I wouldn't. That if I have the option of range 1 or range 2, I want range 2. I've always just thought of like the perfect range being against Burman is range 2. You know,
You're Rukyuk, right? Like, yeah, you want the range to be as high as possible.
Ready to fire.
Maybe he's like, okay, there's actually no difference in this circumstance.
well then,
But even then, I don't buy it. Like, your crossfire is higher than mine. You know, that's a very concrete difference. Your opponent's Incinerating Grasp is online. It's also a very big difference.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's never. Yeah, maybe you're just never playing something that has a minimum range here because drive is so likely from Burman.
You know, I wonder if he had thought of this and was thinking that like you want to give him the option to try to incinerating at range 2, and maybe you want to burst. I guess seems because right now he can't War Mages right at range 2, so.
Yeah, maybe he's just scared of like War Mage Grasp or something. But I think the real reason has got to be that you want a point blank strike. Point blank strike anti prio on this beat seems really good.
Oh wow. Yeah, it does. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that seems sick. Oh,
Yeah.
you might have called it. Yeah.
And then you can Dire Drive or you can Incinerating Grasp. Yeah, Dire Drive. Okay.
I don't think enough people do this either as Burman. Like you're so used to always like anting firepower that you forget that like these stats are still good. You know.
It's maybe my favorite card in the game. I think it's a beautiful card.
Dire.
This is such an amazing, elegant design. I absolutely love it. I wish there were more cards that were at this quality.
What? Just because it's so good to have both modes. Like.
So it's so simple, but it's so deep. You know, like.
Yep.
It's really an example of really, really good game design.
I know you're not going to believe this, but I think that if you look, like, the things that get you your tokens back as EHIC versus what they do are completely opposed and have a similar design metric. Or design, not metric, I want to say philosophy. But.
You mean?
So, like, for Evil Hikaru, like Primordial, for instance, if you do it right, you hit them before they hit you. Probably almost guaranteeing a stun. But when you get your token back, it's because they hit you. So, like, all of the things are designed that the thing that they do correctly is completely opposite of the thing that gets you your token back.
Yeah. But, I mean, what I like so much about Dire is that it does it in so few words, right? It's so simple. Like, you know what this... You read it once and you know what the card does. But it's so... it's such a sophisticated card in that, like, it's so interesting strategically. Like, you read it once and you know exactly what it does for sure. And forever.
Yep. That is very true.
But yeah, so here, this is terrible for Burman, so...
Yep, it definitely is.
It's a good reason to buy Dire Drive. I think Dire Drive is like the most tempting thing to play here, but you know, you kind of want to spot the point blank strike anti-prio. I think it's like not so hard to spot, so sucks.
Huh. Well, however, is it that bad? Because now we have... Hold on. So, we're on point blank strike anti-prio. Oh, prio. So, this is... 1-3. That loses to might. And clashes shot. Shot. So he has to play either might or he has to play might. Right?
You're right. This is not that bad for. It's not as bad as I thought because the discards from MiX are so awkward.
Yep. So and then he has to play might, which gets clashed by shot. Now the problem being, shot versus burst. I think clashes too, right?
Yeah.
Oh, but he dodged instead. Okay.
Why would you dodge? What?
Let me just make sure. 3, 1. Yeah, so you should have just played burst to clash the shot, right?
And take your free reload.
Is it free? No, it's not free because he's got grasp.
Is he just gonna flash the
4, 5. No, he has. I'm sorry. 3, 4. No, it is a free reload, right? 4, 5 is what.
No. It's he can clash the reload with grasp. So.
No, he can't because it's +1. Because he anti-prio bullet, right? So his reload.
Yeah, I mean, for right now, MiX is 1 prio faster than Burman.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
like, for
okay.
example,
So that's fine. But why not try it, right? You have dodge. Oh, because if he does, he could penta all the way through. Which, does that matter?
Right? But it just ends with... Maybe he's like trying to... He's saying, I would rather Burman's shot be down than Burman's strike be down.
Okay.
And that's okay, yeah. Okay, I buy that.
Is that true, though?
Hmm?
Is that true? Would you rather have Burman's shot be down? Like, Burman has... I mean, he's not Rook, right? But he's really close to Rook. You know, like, these are his styles, right? Like, if you just look at the styles here, like, I know Rook is the range character, but we're also talking about Burman. You know, like, the quintessential keep-out range character. So do you really want shot down here? You know?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, there's an argument to be made that you'd rather have.
Like, I think I would
down.
want... Yeah, I want, like, a strike or his grasp down, right?
Also grasping down. Yeah, I can believe this is. As Rook, you probably want shot down. I don't know. I would imagine that's the reason. It's like it's so obvious to go for the reload there. So I imagine MiX just calculated it and decided he wanted dodge.
Okay. So where are we?
Flash worked out way better, but I mean, I think it was a pretty easy calculation from both players. So I imagine that both players went into that beat, both dire drive and strike with Proud Bullet. I think they knew that was probably going to be the outcome anyway.
Yep.
So this kind of sucks for Rook, I think, right? Or you can play your strike anti-long shot, right? That's like your guaranteed trade thing.
Or you can just trick strike.
That's what I mean, yeah. Oh no! You don't want to not anti-long shot because drive is like decently likely from Burman here. Drive is pretty hard to deal with as Rukyuk. I mean, it goes faster than everything.
Okay, so this long shot. Well, you can't do that no, because that's just ISG and soak. Okay.
I don't really see what deals with constraining drive. I mean, you'd have to some crazy clash or something, or you could switch drive. I guess. What happens if you switch drive?
You're toast.
Anti.
You just no, because you have a mix up. You have a mix up if you. Hold on.
It seems really bad.
No, this seems awful. I don't think you can switch drive because might just crushes both your shot and your burst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
Clash the might. I don't know. It seems like it's bad. I would not. I would stop looking at at this line at this point.
Yeah, I agree. That is a fair assessment, sir. That's not terrible.
Trick drive, trick strike, they're both very similar. Which one you want up more? I mean, the strike does one more damage, so probably I would trick strike, but I'm a scrubby Rukyuk. What I've noticed a lot in watching MiX play and watching other good Rooks play is that they'll just pull out these pairs that, I didn't even see them. Oh yeah, that's amazing.
This pair, just the sniper whatever, is always just every sniper that they ever use blows my mind because this thing rarely ever actually hits, and just gives you perfect positioning next turn.
Everything gets hit by incinerating drive, so you probably don't want to.
Yeah, I think you're in trouble. Let's see what happens.
In chat, but MiX explicitly says if you do too much trick drive at Rukyuk. So I'm probably pretty bad at Rukyuk, but I really don't see what you're doing against incinerating drive here. So.
Okay, so this might be trick strike. It might be. Isn't it bold, sir? That would be bold.
I don't know. It's crazy. Incinerating drive is something you're obviously playing around.
Charging 1 firepower.
Wow, charging 1.
And anting 1 back. Okay.
There's never you're never long shotting with something faster. Asp.
Okay.
Sure, fine. He just says that like I'm not gonna waste my my incinerating when you're gonna just trick strike me.
Oh no, that's end movement. Okay, never mind.
So now he can set up for incinerating next turn.
Yep. Why push?
Prepare yourself.
He wants to advance 2 here, probably. If you pull, then you maintain the same position. But
Yep. Okay. And he moves.
advance 2, and then you're safe from
Forward.
all the grasps, right?
Or advance 1.
What? Okay. So now you're to gunner grasp. You can't incinerating anymore. You've turned off your war mages.
Yeah, I don't understand the moving 1.
It's gonna like, you know, if you're gonna blistering, you want to blistering with something that hits.
Show me my blistering, thank you.
I don't know. I don't know about this. I really don't know why you wouldn't advance 2 there. Oh, I know why. Because sniper reload is not something you can do anything about. Not be like if he's gonna go to the other side of the board, you want to be like closer than that. Even then, maybe better.
No. Yeah, he's right. He's like, I think that this would have to be blistering drive, right?
Is good in this situation.
But nothing beats it.
But it'd be nice to leave 1 further back so you can at least like war mages or something. Mage 1 further back, can you? Okay.
Yeah,
you have
but
to, like, go further back. That sucks. Okay, yeah, sure. This is fine, I guess. And then you just blistering
Ready
drive.
to fire.
Yep.
Beats everything.
More power.
Okay.
Quickly now.
I don't understand the prio.
I guess he reloads. That's
Oh,
it. Yeah, that's why I reload.
wow. Okay, no, this is fine, right? 'Cause he just still antis it. Yeah, we're good.
This sucks, right? Because if this were a blistering drive, you wouldn't have to spend all your firepower, right? At this point, what you can do is you
Well,
can spend.
If this was a blistering drive, oh yeah, you would not have to spend all your firepower. You are correct.
Yeah. So I think
No,
that
you still would. You still would
No.
because it moved directly to any space. Blistering would not hit if you move over here.
that's not true. It's a start thing. You get +02 range.
Okay, sure.
So it has to be that Ash is just scared of a clash here.
Yeah.
And you can see that the MiX was trying to clash something, I guess. Yeah, he was trying to clash blistering for some reason, which is I don't know. Maybe there was like some sequencing thing that tipped him off that it wasn't. Okay, this is a pretty high level beat then, right?
Yep. That seems.
People listening burst to just not get clashed, and then the reload was like MiX. The prio anti was somehow MiX realizing that he wasn't going to clash. So that's interesting.
What do we got here?
No problem.
All right.
Have something like War Mage's Grasp. Oh, you don't
Short
grasp.
grasp.
Okay. Oh, that sucks. This is pretty bad then. What do you? As usual, when Rook reloads, like he can beat anything with it with some bullet. Like you don't have anything that's guaranteed. And like the snipers that blow out a ton of your stuff, right? Sniper with long shot.
I think this is my pair.
Yeah, I agree that I think that Rook's only full boards are point blank shot, anti long shot, and Gunner anti long shot, right? Really, I mean, like it's kind of scary to do this.
Well, you don't have
And-
anti-long shot with Gunner.
Yeah, you do.
Well, you just anti any bullet, right? With the Gunner first.
Can't range 1 unless you anti long shot.
Okay, yeah. If he moves 1, got it.
So the only way is getting full board here is by spending his long shot, which I think is reasonable because I think that like Burman is pretty likely to dodge here. But the thing is that also like if he dodges to full board, you're really not that mad, you know?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a way, like maybe he just doesn't. Maybe it's just this. Or this. No, that doesn't work either. Maybe this.
It's strike. I don't know. I don't know about these. I think War Major Strike is like not crazy.
I feel like you're not gonna win with this ever in this scenario.
I think this is sensible. Like, I mean, just to sniper grasp, anti long shot.
Yeah. By a lot.
Like everything's gonna lose to something, right? Loses like Gunner Grasp, anti stun guard bullet.
Yeah.
I think you probably dodge as Burman, but like, it's so bad if you go full board and like set up for guaranteed sniper. Go for it. Yeah. So I remember talking to MiX about this beat because I was wondering why he antied power here instead of other things. I think the dire drive is like pretty bold, just like blatantly disrespecting.
So I want to talk about that for a minute. And let's change gears for a second. The reason I don't like this is because I feel like it just loses to a lot of things, right? It just loses too much. I feel like anything he does is gonna beat the one thing that's scary. Like what else is scary here? Nothing. You were worried about no other things. The only other thing that is even like really kind of consideration is this. So in that case, where I feel like you're just kind of losing this beat as it is, with Burman, and like switch dodge gives you at least a force, possibly, if they do something crazy, lets you get in under their min range, great. But this isn't that much worse than switch dodge in my opinion. Like you're gonna win more beats with this than I think switch dodge or War Mage's strike against MiX.
I think this has to be like an exploitative play. I think against MiX because like MiX really doesn't want a sniper grasp.
Yep.
Then just like have the dodge come in. Like that's pretty bad. That's not.
Yep.
That's not nice.
Same thing here, right? Like yes, your sniper and your gunner grasp both beat this, right? But
the gunner grasp has anti-prio bullet, which is
sure. I don't think you're like that. Seems. Are you gonna anti the prio bullet when you're still losing a switch dodge? Or you're not, I guess.
I mean, you could. I think that's sensible. But I think that it makes sense that MiX would like play a bit safer. It's like a little bit less volatile. Interesting, and what I asked him a lot about is about the bullet choice. Because here he does point blank shot, anti-power, the push bullet. Because I thought he would push bullet here. Because I don't know, it seems to me like sending your opponent to like range 5 is really nice. Thought about it. He said that because he's behind on life, he really feels like he needs the damage here.
It's funny that you mention that. That is my I can't verbalize why I feel that way. But I agree with MiX in like my gut that I ordinarily would want to anti-push bullet with point blank shot and send him across the board. But I am actually concerned about the life differential. You know,
12 here. It kind of sucks, right? I don't know. I think that MiX seemed some other things MiX said was that he doesn't care that much about landing sniper, which I think is a little weird. But okay, he plays Rook and I don't. I said that a lot of the payoff for being at long range is actually crossfire, and crossfire is down, so he doesn't care that much about getting long range. Whereas life, being 3 points down is really relevant to him. So,
Okay.
So this is fine. And of course, this is also okay against okay, dodge just goes full board. It's okay.
Yeah, and I think that's the problem with the switch dodge is it's possibly the loser's play overall. If you go to range 6 against Rook, it's yeah, you can get hit this beat. Now, that being said, you still have options, But I don't know how you ever beat a Sniper Grasp anti-stun guard.
Well, War Mage Strike actually does beat Sniper Grasp, right?
Sniper, if you go to range 6. Anti-Sniper or the anti-stun guard bullet?
Oh, yeah, with the Stun Guard bullet, yeah, you're screwed.
No way.
So the dodge is really pretty dicey.
And if you're not going to dodge, right, I like Dire Drive more than I like War Mage's Strike. Just because I feel like you're not beating enough with War Mage's Strike.
You beat basically the same stuff, right?
I don't know if that's true. You get under anything that isn't Grasp, right? And there's a non-zero chance he plays some other... Grasp doesn't do a lot of damage, so... Alright, what do we got here?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Maybe... I think that they're similar, like the Dire Drive. Dire Drive is mostly, I think, just for positioning. To be range 1, but...
So, I think this is where I would feel... Let me just make sure I want to save this. Well, you still have this.
Thing, right? Then MiX has basically the same full board options, where he can anti-long shot, and that covers a lot of stuff.
Right.
But now War Mage's Grasp is up, so that's scary.
So when I look at War Mage's Grasp,
I think that was good, but
I don't want to play War Mage's Grasp. I don't think, specifically because of this.
Yeah.
So, but when I think about it, I'm not averse to other things like Dragon Breath Strike or War Mage's Strike or even Dragon Breath. Maybe that seems a bit bold. I mean, a bit terrible rather. I definitely want to ante for some firepower this turn and get my null beat. This I would feel more comfortable now. Now that Point Blank's out, with doing the switch dodge play this turn.
Yeah, I mean, because the things that take you to range 1, and the only full board option is a Grasp, and that's not that bad. I think that your Dragon Breath Strike suggestion was pretty good, though. A pretty reasonable pair in this situation.
Yeah, I just... Even if you
can't ante for the 2 damage.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Well, I'm aware of that, but even still, I'm not doing it for the text on the start, right? I'm doing it for the end movement and just... I just don't think I'm getting there against all these bullets, right? With Sniper and all that. I don't think this is getting there this turn. You know.
Just to Gunner Grasp. Like, that's not good.
Yeah, it loses to Gunner Grasp, it loses to Sniper Grasp, Anti Long Shot. Just this loses to too much for me, comparative to even just this. This is also fine too. Say again.
Things it loses to Gunner Grasp, but loses to Sniper Grasp.
This doesn't.
Oh yeah, okay, you're right. This doesn't lose. No, it does. Yeah, it does.
This. So this might lose to Gunner. Oh, if he enters ISG bullet, sure. But you can't beat all his bullets.
You just miss, right? Because Gunner has after movement.
Sure, if he wants to get close. Is that okay too?
Yeah, and then I'll get close to not take 5 damage. Like, yeah.
Sure. I guess I'm. But all of those are going to lose to this anyway, you know? Like,
Yeah,
same...
so I think it's a good dodge for Burman. Like.
Okay, let's see.
Gunner Grasp is like the bread and butter thing, but Sniper Grasp I think makes sense.
Well, got there anyway.
Okay, this is crazy. I guess
So-
MiX really doesn't want to like miss his.
Well, he's going to miss anyway. 'Cause he
So
spends
MiX specifically antied the long shot bullets so that he wouldn't miss.
okay.
Tougher than
If he doesn't do that, then he hits. But
I definitely would have
Um,
spent 1 firepower to move him 1 and make him spend the bullet, though.
like, right? Why would you spend 1 firepower?
Do you think his firepower is worth more than a bullet?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's closer than you might think. Like, if you have so little firepower.
Yeah, but if he's
maybe-
at 4 bullets, right? Like, the difference is I can still play without firepower. You know?
I mean, yeah, sure. I can entertain that. Like, you should spend a firepower to get a soak bullet or something. But yeah, MiX really doesn't like playing sniper for some reason. And I think Ash is taking advantage of that. It's 2 beats in a row where like sniper gas long shot would have just been devastating.
Yep, I agree.
He doesn't want to miss it, and I don't really get it. I don't understand why he's not doing those things.
This is the beat that I would Dragon Breath dodge.
Yeah, I mean,
Surely
surely now, right? Now that you have the firepower to,
Yes.
tax her opponent to life. Now that like sniper has to advance, like.
Yep. And nothing else really hits, right? And you no longer have the long shot bullet. So like the only things that hit are like how you doing?
Yeah, this is a good point.
Man,
I
that's
mean,
not,
Switch
that's not
Stride
bad,
is
man.
bullet, not paper.
This isn't bad. Like this, that's exactly what I was just thinking. Like, you know what? Like Switch Drive anti-prio here seems super solid to me.
So one thing that's very dangerous in this situation is that next turn, Burman has Dragon's Descent online.
Oh,
Really not very much the Rook can do against Dragon's Descent because he has absolutely 0 start and before movement on his styles and on his unique base. So the only way that Rook can beat Dragon's Descent is strike, fast burst, and dodge. That's it.
well, it
Sorry.
can't be strike. It
Or
can't
sorry,
be.
drive, fast
Yeah.
burst, and dodge. Yeah. So that's kind of dangerous. As MiX, like, like some crossfire grasp or something, but I think a reload is also sensible. It's hard. I mean, it could also. I mean, it kind of sucks for Rukyuk, I think.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I'm trying to see if there's any other bizarre thing I would want to do. I don't think there is. Like, none of this shit works. Oh! Hold up. This isn't terrible, right? Well, it is now that he's anti-push bullet.
Blistering Strike is sensible. I think Dragon Breath Strike is probably
Yeah, that's better.
Excellent.
A
I like
switch
Dragon
drive,
Breath.
actually. I think switch drive is not crazy.
What? What? What?
So
Oh man. Okay, and he's got shot, right? No, he doesn't. Okay. Okay. But he does have reload.
I mean, he can like grasp or something. I mean, that hits.
Well, he should be bursting, right?
Yeah, but like that's okay, right? Because he's gonna miss too. That's fine.
What punishes well, everything, right? So grasp. They're both at -2, right? No, he's at -3. Okay, so grasp is 2. He's at -2. Grasp is 2. Okay.
It has to be grasp, right? Because otherwise you lose to might. So
I mean, lose. He's got
shot. Shot does damage you here if you grasp.
Yeah. Yep.
I think it's a grasp versus a burst.
I don't love might. I mean, it's fine. It's probably what it's not a bad play at all. So this is 0.
Oh yeah, actually, shot is just safe here, right? Yeah, shot's totally safe.
Well, you have stun immune, right?
And like shot will do damage. I don't know why this is a might instead of a shot.
No way.
Oh, because the push bullet was antied.
Yeah. Is he card lock? No, he is. He'll have drive. Okay.
Yeah, so drive. He has to drive in this situation, right? Like literally has to. Sniper drive, I guess.
How does he ever beat a Dragon's Descent?
I mean, this is the issue, right?
How does he? No, like I'm not kidding at all here. Is he just locked into drive, burst, dodge for the remainder of the game? Like it is beat 8.
To play around Dragon's Descent every turn, it has to be those 3. And in fact, it's a little bit more restricted than that because
It can't even dodge.
Because the burst has to be fast. But in this case, thing that's very dangerous is Dragon Breath dodge. I think wins the game on the speed.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So is you Dragon Breath. If you can Dragon Breath dodge to the center and not get hit, then just move to the corner and then you have a guaranteed Dragon's Descent, right?
Yep.
So
100%.
what you need to do as Rukyuk is you need to play something. You need to play a drive from where you are. But also, it's still pretty bad because it has to hit the center square and everything past it. Can't let Burman just like retreat 1 or something.
Yep.
Does he have one of those?
Well.
Who this is? But I don't think he had a pair that did that. So I think that here Rukyuk has to guess this turn, or is it going to be Dragon Breath dodge? Because the Dragon Breath dodge guarantees the Dragon's Descent next turn.
Yep.
So to say like which turn am I getting Dragon's Descented? And I think there's a very, very strong bias to play around Dragon's Descent this turn instead of next turn. That like, Ash is entirely correct to hold the Dragon Breaths, hold the Dragon's Descent, and MiX I think should probably risk it because this bias is so obvious.
Okay, wait a minute. That can't be true. You are a person who loves, finding national equilibrium. I'm not even going to try to say that phrase again. You like finding that equilibrium. how it has to. Well, what does Dragon's Breath dodge lose to this turn that like it's not just correct to Dragon's Breath dodge?
Show me Rook's hand. It might be 100%. You're right. So point blank shot is almost everything, but it doesn't hit everything. No, so it has to be something that has range 2. What do you have that's 2 to 6?
You have, 2 to 6, nothing. You have
Nothing?
1 to 5.
Okay, so dragons. Okay, so what you do is
Now he also has whatever he just played, which is
that's the only hope. Okay.
so you have Sniper 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have literally nothing. Will not lose to.
So then you should try to clash this.
That's probably what you should.
This charge 2 is what you should try to clash in.
You should charge some number, yeah. Like obviously he can mix up between charge 0, charge 1, and charge 2.
Sure, but you don't have a choice. You got to pick a number. You might as well pick the obvious one, right?
Yeah. So what I would say is, I'm going to make the assumption that if you clash this pair, then you win the game. So you play something that hits like your opponent's at 2. So I think you probably are.
There you go.
You should. So you have a crossfire drive that covers that can be your 2 that covers Dragon's Descent. You're probably just 1 in 3 to win as Rukyuk here. Play something that's either Prio 3, Prio 2, or Prio 1. Crossfire dodge.
I think you crossfire dodge to cover the Dragon Breath dodge, right? Charge 2. And then you still have this. Okay. He will have anti 2, so he'll be at -2. You are also at -2. And I don't know what Burman has here that would let him. Oh, so he could do his own drive. So
you are in some trouble because he can Dragon Breath drive you anti-power, and that does kill you, right? It does lose to a lot of crossfires, but
3.
Tricky. So I think you have to crossfire.
He can't if we're on this plan, right? And we're talking about this. If we're on this plan, then it doesn't matter if he antis power, right? Because if we're clashing this at 2, he won't have the power because it's he'll have the charge.
Yeah, but the point is that like Burman can charge either 0, 1, or 2, right?
Sure.
Right? If this Dragon Breath dodge goes off, he wins the game. So.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think you probably play Crossfire to do all your clashes, and you do a mix of Crossfire Grasp, Crossfire Drive, Crossfire.
I don't know what happened there. But
MiX conceded.
Oh, that's right. MiX conceded.
Yeah.
MiX conceded. Sorry,
he's like forced my opponent to like demonstrate that they see the checkmate. But,
yeah.
I mean, he's probably frustrated.
Well, I mean, also, I think that MiX has a little bit more faith in Ash than that, right?
I mean, I don't know. Like, you do have to like move to a specific place, but yeah, I think as Rook there, you have to play a Crossfire, and basically, I'm sure that like other things Burman can do to mix in. So I'm not going to say that Rook is 33% to win there. I think it's probably less, but he does have outs, right? Because you do have to clash. There aren't that many things.
Right.
That you have to. The specific is mostly Dragon Breath dodge.
All right.
Okay. Well, sucks. I mean, probably instead of agonizing over which pairs exactly you want to try to clash with, you should probably look at like earlier in the game and be like, could I have played differently? To not put myself in this position. I think that the 2 turns that Ash disrespected Sniper Grasp.
Yeah,
that was.
I
unusual.
agree. And it seems like it was, and I agree with it to an extent, right? That is a great example of I'm just losing to a lot of things anyway, so now I just need to pick something to beat. You know, like because I really hated the idea. Like switch dodging seems to be the best ish solution to that scenario, but I just hate it because like uh, it's so obvious that I feel like MiX is going to cover it, and I'm losing to like 3 different pairs. So we're literally playing rock paper scissors. I'm not actively winning with switch dodge or with some of these other things. So in that case, I really like dire drive. Like if you're gonna lose to something and you can't figure out what it is, pick something to beat, right?
Yeah, I mean it's a little more complicated than that, but like you should in principle compute some equilibrium and say okay, like
I'm
what
100% confident dire drive appears on that equilibrium, though, right? You're cutting out of me, Blat. You there? I can hear like you cutting in and out, but I cannot hear words that you were saying.
Sorry, my internet is really shitty and it's very spotty.
Okay, fair enough.
Sorry?
All right. Yeah. So I guess I'm sure that dire drive appears in that matrix. At some point in the equilibrium.
But so to reiterate, what I think is like theoretically correct is what you should do is you should figure out the Nash equilibrium, figure out what frequencies your opponent should be playing with, and what is their bias. Like this is what they should be doing to make being different between options, but they're not doing that. They're doing something more than they should, and they're doing something else less than they should. And then you use that information, which comes from your experience or just like some gut feeling, to make a play that is like decent, but probably beats but acts on the bias you see. So I think that MiX tends to be a very safe player, and I think that he's not inclined to grasp enough in that spot. And you can see this a lot in his gameplay. Like also the games versus Matex. Matex. I think you described his gameplay once as like, if a pair is super obvious, he just pretends it doesn't exist because it's like too obvious for people to play it. And he just like stomps MiX because MiX is exactly the kind of person that just happens to be really effective against. I mean,
yeah, the way I always describe Matex's play,
like the really well-duh pairs that like are not guaranteed to land, just because that's his personal bias. And I think that Ash was really picking up on that because 2 turns in a row, he's just like, you're not gonna grasp me, and played pairs that were otherwise quite good. And so I think that like MiX is like reasonably sophisticated, but MiX should go and look at that and be like, okay, I have some bias, right? I'm playing systematically in this way where I don't play a certain kind of pair enough. And Ash just like picked up on that and like, in a very high level way was the better player and, deserved to win the game. So I think that's what really decided the game is the fact that Ash noticed this bias in MiX's play.
That's fair. The way I always used to describe Matex's play is Matex really likes playing scissors when rock is the clearly best solution from his opponent. If he believes his opponent's really good and rock is like the best choice, then he plays scissors. We're like, nope, he'll just totally disrespect it and beat everything else. And I think that's what happens to a lot of people. And I think that there are certain people who still just play rock there and they crush. Whenever he like reaches out for the scissors, someone like Ali is just like, or I'll play rock, again for the 95th time.
Yeah, exactly. So like, all these players, they have these biases, right? They're not at equilibrium, and if you want to get a big edge in like these high level games, it helps a lot to be able to what your opponent's systematic biases are and exploit them, right? And it's really hard to do that and to like see patterns. But like, if you compute a lot of equilibria, you can use your experience a lot. And I think that like, because these people aren't like close to equilibrium, I think they're like way off. Like they're like, it's not like MiX should be.
No, I agree.
By like 30% of the time, and he's separate grasping like 20%. It's like he's separate grasping like 0% or something. Like these, it's really.
I don't know about 0%, right?
Really far off.
And I also think you have to look at what is our time frame for that. I am sure that MiX used to sniper grasp a lot, right? And then you get that you rise in that bump, and then you find the people who are beating that obvious pair, and that's what creates that bad bias to stop playing that pair that like the good players beat. Like the good players beat the good pairs, so you stop playing the best pair and start playing your second best pair. And like the problem is sometimes now people play the fourth best pair, which beats the second pair, but just gets absolutely demolished by the best pair. If any of that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like so much of how the longtime players play is based entirely on like their experience, right? They've played, in MiX's case, like 1,600 games or something, right?
Yeah.
And I think that they've all probably done like close to no theory in this game. Like almost all of their experience is just playing a million games against people on the ladder. And if you don't do any theory, I think you develop some very serious biases, because then it's very hard to separate what is theoretically correct versus what just randomly happened to be qualitative play against the population I'm playing against, right? Because if you're not mindful of this distinction, you don't have like this theoretical background, all you're seeing is, am I seeing the victory screen? Am I not seeing the victory screen? You're not seeing like, why am I seeing the victory screen?
Sure.
And so a lot of the times people will value these things are theoretically correct in the same way that they value these things that just happen to be very good against specifically the population that they trained on, but
Yep.
not like theoretically correct. And then if someone comes along and you like, are relying on that, but like in a tournament setting, you have basically no data to train on, and you fall back onto this experience that leads you to exploiting population tendencies, you're gonna have a bad time. So I think that it's very dangerous to play like a ton of games.
So like your
think.
theory is that laddering turns you into a pub stomper, but not a good player.
I've seen this like in other games with other players as well. I think that you really do need a balance of like playing ladder just to be able to like be fast at calculation. That's the most important thing. That like
Yeah.
you need to be razor sharp and like see all the obvious stuff very quickly. But once you do that, you really need to like study the game if you want to improve. And I think almost no players do that because it's just not fun, right? Like, but if you look at like chess, for example,
To be fair,
if you just went
is that not what we're doing here? Like this, I think this is fun. Like,
it happens a little bit, but not nearly enough. But like compared to chess, for example, right? Imagine someone's like a chess player and they just spend all day on a chess website, like spanning bullet games, right? Because that's sort of what ladder feels like. You just gotta make a decision under time pressure. You're not gonna get that good, right? There are people, I've seen accounts on WeChess that have literally 100,000 games of bullet on them, or blitz or something, and they're rated like 1,300. It's like garbage. I mean, sure, like that player's objective is not to get good, and that's totally fine. I mean, I'm not bashing this player, but I'm saying that like, it's not like just playing a ton is going to make you good. You need to be very mindful about what you're doing. You need to study, and of course, a chess player who doesn't study is going to get laughed out of the room. Like, to be good at chess, you need to spend like basically an equal amount of time studying and playing. And I mean, you don't see that in Battlecon. No one does that. I mean, no one does that in other online games either. And that's why I think that like the level of play in most online games is actually incredibly low, even at the very highest level. So we're like,
everyone who watches this VOD, you just got called out by Blatm. Just saying, unfortunately, did not enter the tournament. So I really wish you had entered the tournament.
People, but, like, I think that like the best players in many games, 16 to 1800 level in chess, right? Like, which is it's a good rating. You beat casuals, but like it's nothing compared to what's possible.
That's fair. All right, let me take one more AFK and we'll watch the third game if that works for you. Is that good for you?
Hey, what's up?
This. And change this to game 3. Okay. Alright. And here we go.